Hello, everyone. Welcome to DragonCon. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Quick reminder, we're on DragonCon TV, so everyone watching in the hotel, say a big hello to them on for DragonCon TV. And this is actually really, really incredible for us because we have two great guests for you. And so please, when these guys come out, make the room shake because they really want to feel welcome. So first of all, please welcome Mr. Kai Owen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Barrowman. For those of you watching in your hotel, there's the moon First of all, hello to everybody watching in the hotel that's here today, because thousands of people showed up to see us! You're very far away over there. Sit here. I've already put this way in my mouth, so you do it. Get ready. Get ready. You know what's really tipping me off? No, Chick-fil-A. Please don't go eat Chick-fil-A. Please don't. Please don't. Anyway, I was going to say that. Thank you. I'm Boston Soba. Yeah, it's always 10 to 10 in the morning to get out of Jersey. Guess what's in here? It is coffee. Maybe. Oh, the Jersey block face. Sorry. No, good morning. No, please, by all means. I wanted to start off by asking you guys, during the Torture Series, and also during Miracle Day, your relationship on screen with Kai is sometimes a little tense. And I was wondering how you guys prepared for that relationship. Were you like purposely mean to him when you got to the set and didn't talk? Did you talk about it ahead of time? How did you guys set that up?
I just used to sexually abuse him in the trailers before we went on set. That used to work. Totally. The thing that I think that's great about Jack and I mean the relationship between the both of them is the fact that he never really, they didn't get along because there was an element of jealousy. Yeah? And, you know, you were always the one that looked at Jack as, and I say as you, because we look at each other and we still see, you know what I mean? We talk like we are those people because we are. And, you know, with Gwen and all the different things, you know, who is played by Eve Miles, a lot of the things, the relationship aspect of it, he didn't like what she was doing. But what I love is the whole, you know, Jack always thought he was a bit of a buffoon. And, you know, a big like, you know, village idiot. But the one thing that kind of turned it around, true. The one thing that turned it around for Jack was when you started driving a truck. Remember, he was doing with the slogan. Come on, see if you can remember it. Who can you trust to transport the goods? You won't be sorry with a hard lottery. So when he started doing that, Jack kind of realized that, you know, this guy got something. But there was a great moment for us, really, in Miracle Day, and that was the whole progression, and that's what's wonderful about the writing of the show. The characters just continue to develop and develop, where I said I had made a decision about was it Tuesday or was it American Day? You said that maybe what he did was something like that made it good. Yeah. So it was, all of a sudden there was an acknowledgement, and he was on my side, and he'd never been there before, and actually he became sort of like my underlying ally.
Yeah. I think that line you said you defended movies. That was,
sorry, I just answered that question in late.
Oh, it's cool. I love the relationship with Jack and Reese, and especially, I was going to say, as the series grew and went on, they became, I think Reese admired him more. He was very jealous of this good-looking man who was stunning coats after his walking around with his missus, but Reese got a lot of respect because he knew that Gwen will always be safe as long as Jack's around, and toward the end, he respected him.
He was probably more interested in Reese than he was in Gwen anyway.
Yes. That's one thing they never had an on-screen kiss, so that's not a shame.
No. But in secret we always did.
John, I know you're probably tired of hearing this, but I have to ask this.
I never tire of hearing anything.
Don't take that different way.
I only told you one thing.
But not just for that, because no one would. So I have to ask you, because there's a very important date coming up in November of next year for Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Has anyone called? If you can't talk about that's fine. Has anyone?
I can tell you what I know, which is absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And I can tell you that with truth and honesty, no one has telephoned, no one's called, no one's asked. And no, you can tell me that's
There's still plenty of time.
No, but there is still plenty of time. But there's preparation. I may not be asked. And as a lot of people might not be asked. So we have to just take that on board. My philosophy, I tweeted the other day, life does move on. Mm-hmm. And although I absolutely love the world of Doctor Who, I love the world of Torchwood, it's been a huge part of my life for over 80 years, working in it, but for my entire life it's been a huge part. Me personally, as John Barrowman, the fan, I would be exceptionally disappointed if I was not involved. And that's... Well, no, but that's me. But as the actor, I understand that other things come about. But John Barrowman, I would be gutted.
And I'm putting one of those balls of fat to the outposts.
I need one of them.
Little marshmallows.
Yeah, yummy.
So I'm doing it, I'm in it.
As a real quick follow-up, can you kind of talk about working with both Christopher Eccleston and David Tennant at the time?
Yeah, I can. One fun, one moody. True. Christopher was someone who brought the darker side of the Doctor out with Russell and Stephen's writing, and I think that was a huge thing and a huge mark that set the rest of us off in another point. It was like a catalyst for everybody. I came in around Christmas time, and the first sequence that Billy and I filmed was that sequence in front of Big Ben, and I was dancing. We were dancing, and I'd never done green screen before. I'd never done anything like that. So basically, I was chucked into the deep end. All of the production crew, everyone there, Christopher, Billy, they all wanted to go home because it was breaking for Christmas. They'd worked long hours. So here you have this. So I had all that excitement. Anyway, but it was Christopher he was a great doctor and should be recognized for bringing Doctor Who, and back to life in a new light. I like to have fun on set, and then when David came on board, it was like two kids in a candy store because David was also a fan of the show from a child, as many of you know. He wrote a letter and stuff and all that kind of thing, you know, that stuff. But David and I really loved our jobs. We loved the fact that we were two heroes that ran around in big, long, flowing coats that we always tripped over. And I just always remember one sequence with David and I. We were running in the quarries. You know, Doctor Who, you always have to film in a quarry at some point. I was in the torch and I was naked with him. And I remember David and I running behind. They put it's called ATVs here. You know, the four-wheel things. What do you call them? All-terrain vehicles. I love that you're reading while we're talking. What are you making? Washcloths for people for Christmas. So what's your name? Amanda what? Amanda Tucker. Anyone who's related to Amanda Tucker, you're getting a washcloth. And it's being knitted here at Veronica. But we would run, and this ATV's in front of us, and the guy, and you could see the camera crew, again, it was that kind of family atmosphere. The camera crew, you could see them speeding up, and David and I were going, trying to keep up in the distance, and all of a sudden we just go somewhere, would you please slow down? We can't run in our code! Or you'd run and your foot would get caught in the tail of the thing. This happened to me all the time, and you trip. They then made us running coats. Yeah. That's because we're special. We're idiots who get running long coats. They made us running coats, and they made us our regular, what they call hero coats. And, but I have one of the coats in my house, and it's been special to me because I call it my vacuuming coat. Like I vacuum.
So, Kai.
Yes.
There was a joke there, you cut me off. Timing.
I'm sorry, sir.
Come on!
Whoa. So, I'm sorry, John. Please don't hurt me. So, you did some... You did Shakespeare a bit ago, and you had to do some Greco wrestling. Is that right? Wasn't there a Shakespeare where you played wrestling?
Oh yeah, I did actually like it at the beginning of the year. And it was really memorable. And I played Charles the Wrestler.
Did you have to do any special training for that?
No, none at all. We just had the guy who did the stage combat and he choreographed the stage fight basically. So and he was a big, good 5-minute wrestler. It was great.
Go on, give us some Shakespeare.
I'm doing the Tempest right now in Welsh. So I'll give you a Caliban. So I'll give you some Shakespeare in Welsh.
This is otherwise known as Wakespeare or Welsh.
The Tempest is called a storm in Welsh. A storm means a storm. Do you see Kenneth Branagh's opening speech in the amazing opening ceremony of the Olympics? Yeah? See that? This is it in Welsh. It's a long one, it's 2 pages.
That's what I'm told.
Pwy yw'r ponni, mae'r ymwys cawn o sŵn, twrw a lawon sy'n cloni heg niweidio. Weithiau bydd mil o ffyrnau'n tîmwnion mwnian o gyrch ymhen, a gweithiau lleisiau.
I was going to ask each of you if you prefer stage work to television.
I prefer doing television, I've got to be honest. The money is so much better. So I'm doing TV work anyway. But I'm happy, I'm enjoying quite a bit of theatre this year. I didn't actually like it, carry on to Tempest. And then I'm doing Glenn Ross, stuff like that. So yeah, so pretty much theatre all year. And I'm doing Panto.
John's doing Panto.
I'm doing Panto. I always do Panto. Shut up and get your washcloth.
I'm playing like your sister this year.
I That's you. You are. Okay. You know, that's.
But this doesn't look anything like
That's
it.
there. Look at that face.
I know, but there's nothing like it.
No, it doesn't. You look like never mind. Tweet that so everybody can see it.
Yeah.
Great.
And you guys have both talked about Eve a little bit working with her, so I was wondering how you each forged your working relationships with Eve as actors.
Eve is one of my favourite people in the world. I adore her. She's fantastic to be around. She's fantastic to be around on set. Her performance as Gwen is nothing short of fantastic. Amazing. I love her to bits. She's great fun. She's super.
I hate her. No, Gwen and Eve, they mix into one with me, as does Jack and John with her, and Eve and I have a great relationship also, and you know, we travel a lot together, we do things, you know, when we're working, we have a lot of fun, we have a good laugh, and it's always great to do scenes with Eve, because there's always that glint in our eyes when we do them, and we're basically always on the verge of losing it, which makes the scene actually more exciting. And we're all, you know, the other thing is, all of us, you know, for the others who aren't here, we're all committed to what we do, and we absolutely jumped, you know, feet first into this show. You know, he's the logic outside, he's the humanity outside of the group of Torchwood for Gwen. Gwen is the heart within the group, and you know, Jack is the brawn and brains and you know, and the others that fit in with all of their duties around with the team. But you know, we all know what parts we play, and we all know that we give each other the time. And with, you know, Eve and myself and Kai and Gareth, and when Naoko and Bern were all together, it was like a huge big family. And even today, when we see each other, we're still all, we pick up literally from where we left off. So I love Eve today.
Eve actually said hello to every one of you, and I'm so sorry she can't be here. She's currently working on a new project, very exciting project for TV, so she did send hello, say hello, and she sent her apologies, but she hopefully...
She's actually drunk. She missed the
She's still in customs.
She got stopped. She got busted. I won't tell you where she was hiding anything.
So John, can you talk about Arrow?
I can talk about Arrow, yeah. I can't tell you much. All I know is at the moment I'm traveling between, you know, it came out of the blue. It came from left field, really. I had no clue. And I got called by the producers and the writers and stuff, and they asked me if I, you know, would I like to play the role. And, you know, as an actor, when you get called and asked to be on a brand new TV show that's based on, you know, a superhero comic book, and I'm a nerd, and I love that stuff, like I'm going to turn it down.
Yeah.
So I jumped at it, and I basically get on a plane now, you know, because my partner Scott and I, we have a home in Palm Springs, and we've been vacationing there. My vacation has been cut quite short. I'm commuting back and forth to Vancouver. I can't tell you much about the character because it's all very secretive. He's called the well-dressed man at the moment. But they do not reveal, they're only calling him that because they don't want to reveal his identity until later in the series, which I already know, and it's awesome.
John is kind of, just to give you a rundown of what he's doing, and my God, it does sound awesome, so you're going to treat.
Yeah, it starts in September, and it's already been bought by a lot of networks around the world already. I mean, in the UK, it's been bought by, they've already contacted me to see if I'll, you know, do a behind-the-scenes kind of thing. You know, so it's going to be good. It's good, and Steve, the guy who plays Arrow, hot. And it's in my contract. I've already said this before at Fan Expo last weekend. It's in my contract that he must be naked around me in any scene that he does. Nice. A lovely, big, buff Canadian boy.
And filming in Vancouver isn't exactly hard.
Filming in Vancouver is lovely. It's a great city. Any Vancouverians here or Canadians here? Wait a minute! Was that a Canadian? Get down here, tough man! Look at you! Get down here! know what? I love every geek, totally, but I especially love muscle geeks. Thank you.
What's your name?
You don't need to ask his name, it's done now. I feel like I'm 21 again. What's your name? Get out of here. Where are you going? You're going home. That's where you're going. I'm with you.
Thanks, honey. Well, your table's going to be interesting today. That's a lot to say. How did each of you get into... It's all right. How did each of you get into acting and performing?
I've been doing it since I was a young boy in school, involved in school plays. And then I went on a course called the National Youth Theatre of Wales, a 4-week course. Then I went to drama school in London, and I graduated in 1988. It's always something I've just done. Yeah, that's it.
I'm just sitting here, everybody. Show my mom. Thank you. She'll love that. So will my dad. Everybody shout, hi, Mom and Dad. You're not getting a check this month. I got involved. Listen, I've never wanted to do anything else. I'm one of those people who have been fortunate enough that when I was a younger kid, I knew that I wanted to do something that involved entertainment. Whether, and that's something why I have a diverse career, because I love the entertainment industry. I thought I wanted to be a pilot at one time when I was about 8 or 9 years old, but that was when I realized that I was gay because I liked the man in the uniform rather than anything else. But I went to a school called USIU, which doesn't exist anymore in Southern California. I was always involved in amateur dramatics in Joliet, Illinois, where I grew up. Joliet West, what?
Birthplace of Richard Pryor. Here's the statue.
That's correct. Did they really?
Yeah. Oh, you're next.
Yeah. I won't be on fire. 4 people got that joke. God love him. One of the best comedians in the history. Yeah, really good guy. So Joliet, and then I went on to USIU. I worked at Opryland USA for 2 summers. And a show called I Hear, first of all, it was I Hear America Singing Its Song. I was the Blue Cast, and then I was in Way Out West Blue Cast, which I didn't know Kristen Chenoweth was also in.
Wow.
Not in my cast, but in another cast. And then I went back to school because I realized I needed more training. That's when I went to USIU, and I'd done commercials in Chicago and things like that, and I did a little bit of work, but realized that I needed more training and I needed an education. So I went back to school, and in my last year of schooling, I went to study Shakespeare over in the UK, and went to an open call audition for a show called Anything Goes in 1989. Got my first job in the West End opposite Elaine Page.
Nice.
I haven't stopped since. So touch wood.
And you also have a book coming out.
We have 2 new books coming out. My sister and I. Not only my sister. I have to tell everyone up front. I'm not gifted in the way of writing. I can sing, I can move, I can put my face on camera, I can tell stories. And what I do is I tell the stories into my iPhone, and then when my sister, she also comes and lives with me for about 3 months of the year. We discuss everything we're going to do, and she takes all the information away, and she is the talented one to put it down into the word form. She creates the voice for me. So we've got the second edition of Hollow Earth coming out, which will be which is our children's books. The first one comes out in the U.S. next month, and it's been redesigned for America, the cover and everything, and it looks phenomenal. And it's available on digital, iPad, Kindle, You can buy it online, and we're doing a book tour around, a little bit around the U.S. with it. Then in October, we've got Exodus Code, which is the Torchwood novel we've written to keep Jack and the team alive. And I'm exceptionally proud of that because it's just awesome. The first sequence in the first chapter, I can't tell you how exciting it is. And, you know, we have to introduce Jack to an audience who may have never met him before. So that first chapter, we have to tell his story a little bit and reintroduce him, and you find out what makes him special. And how we do that, I just think is brilliant. And I would love for that to be transcended onto film or on television, that novel, because to be blunt, we've written it so it could be. You know, we're not stupid.
Now, when you guys record the Torchwood audios, how is that? Is it just, I mean, I'm sure with the bedroom of the TV series, you guys, like you said, you pick up where you left off, probably naturally happens. But is it a different process recording the audios in terms of developing the character and fleshing it out?
You know, it's not that deep with us.
Yeah.
We kind of all walk in, like back then, I go, then we go, okay, roll.
So, Gwen.
Yeah, this is that.
Yeah.
We know the characters so well, we know, and it's what's always interesting is when other people come in who are new to it and are playing day players on the radio show. They kind of look at we try to make them feel as comfortable as possible, and sometimes doing that makes them even more nervous. Because, you know, truth be told, we've probably read the thing only once.
Yeah.
Right? We know it.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing. We know these characters inside and out. And when it comes to even the people, the producers and stuff who are doing it, they'll say something to us, and both Eve and I, you know, Kaizen, it's a scene that we'll all look at each other and go, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't say that, you know, and we sort it out, and, you know, because you know them, we know them, and that's how it works. Mm-hmm. We're not wanky actors, are we?
No, certainly not.
No. Now, the other thing I was going to ask both of you is that when you get a chance to do these conventions and things, you guys have so much fun. Who would you like to meet at a convention that you haven't gotten to meet yet?
Hey, if I get muscle, he gets teeth. What's your name? Who cares? Get out of here. By the way, I should apologize right off the bat if there's any young children in the room. So sorry, too late. Pippi's alright, isn't he? Good. I love a progressive mom. Yeah.
So Torchwood fans should come with warnings before we start.
Yes.
What was the question now?
Who would you like to meet at a convention?
Well, I don't know who I'd like to. I really, you know, I'm not one of those people who's kind of like,
Well, you meet them all the time.
because I get to meet a lot of people, and I secretly keep my kind of, you know, excitement inside because you know, there's a few times where I have. You all know my George Lucas story? No, because some don't. Sorry if you've heard it before. Get over yourself. I was at the Cannes Film Festival and I was doing, it was the movie which was being premiered, and I was singing it in Cannes and blah, blah, blah. And I went to the premiere of it, and I saw across the room George Lucas. Now for me, being a child of Star Wars, as I know a lot of men out there were, I still have the Star Wars figures in the Darth Vader case, and I've got, and my Tauntauns, I've got, the Millennium Falcon, I've got all the toys, right? Still, all done, and in good condition. Mint. Some are still boxed. Total geek. So I saw him over there, and I'm like, oh my God, it's George Lucas. And I started getting all excited, and I thought, okay. I'm going to walk over, and I'm going to introduce myself to George Lucas, because you're George Lucas. And I walked over, and Mr. Lucas, I'm John Barrowman, Chewbacca, Luke Skywalker. I think I even went, oh my God, and I turned away and I thought, oh my God, you just like totally blown that moment. You're never ever going to be in one of those films ever. So I thought, you know, I went back and I said to Scott, what am I going to do? And he said, well, you got to go fix that. So I walked back over and I said, Mr. Lucas, I'm so sorry. My name is John Barrowman. I'm in the film and I want to. And he said, don't worry, kid, it happens all the time. So that, I do get kind of fan, you know, I'm a fanboy at heart, so that does happen. But I must say that on the plane over, one of the guys from True Blood was in the seat right kitty corner to me. He was back here. I don't know his name, but I just kind of, you know, I was told, what? He had dark curly hair. He was like, Joe, he was like 9 feet tall. He had butt cheeks like 2 Iron Men. He walked, Scott was here, Scott's reading a book, and he walked up to the bathroom and I thought, would I? Scott's got his headphones on, I thought about rejoining the Mile High. I don't even care if he's interested or not, I was going to force my way in that bathroom. There would have been no room. He went in, his head was like this. Oh, and I kept turning around to kind of have a glimpse at him. See, you know, and have a glimpse, my sister watches True Blood, and my sister told me all, you know, she's like nuts about the guy. So I turned around and kept looking, but the woman next to me thought I was looking at her. She's looking at all this. Wrong! True Blood. The baggage claim is Scott's going to be stop. Oh. Anyway, so yes, I do like some things.
I met Stan Lee in the Philadelphia Comic Con and Chris Hemsworth as well. In the green room, I had a photo sitting with, you know, the guy who created Thor and Thor, so that was pretty cool. Now, sorry. His big hammer.
That's a total fantasy of mine. Thor and Captain America come to rescue Captain Jack.
While Reese filmed it.
And the Hulk pounds something and it ain't a wall.
You guys had some really great guest stars, like Derek Thomas and some other people on the show. Who did you really enjoy working with that was a guest star on the show?
My favorite guy. Guest stars. We had a load of awesome guest stars over the course of, 4 series?
Yeah.
And, I mean, sometimes those of us, you know, like for instance, Kai and Eve might have worked with someone more than others, but I have to say the first one pops to my head that, again, I was very nervous working with, and then after I did the first scene with him, Russell came up to me and he went, how awesome is it that we've grown to the fact that John Barrowman, Captain Jack, has just done a massive first scene with Bill Pullman. So, I have to say, Bill and I got along like a house on fire, and he's an awesome guy, and again, one of those actors who just comes in, does his thing, has a lovely time, and is in, you know, just loves what he does, and that's not saying all the other guest stars that I've worked with. I know because, you know, one of the most impactful people who was on Torchwood, it was James Marsters, who... And James and I did a sequence that just took everybody by surprise. I think it even took James by surprise. But yeah, so those are kind of the two ones that jumped into my head right away.
I have to agree with John, actually. Like John said, I never actually got to work with James. Recent Captain John was passing across. However, I did get some fantastic stuff to do with Bill in Miracle Day towards the last sort of episodes. He was fantastic. He was just, he was just a normal, lovely guy who enjoyed being part of his team, came in, just fitted in and loved it. And it's magnificent, Bill.
And that was one of the things that was great. I know a lot of people were like, oh, it's moved to America, it's come to America, blah, 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 blah. But I have to say, without that, we wouldn't have had another series of Torchwood. So there's method to the madness, and I am just completely happy that Torchwood still has a light no matter where it is filmed, and no matter whose money it is. As long as we get Jack and the team on television, I'm happy. But having said that, one of the great things about filming it partly in the U.S. was the fact that we also had, people like Nana from, who was...
we spoke very highly of the U.S.
I love her to death, and she came on and played Angelo Colasanto's daughter. So we were able to have other kind of genre sci-fi people involved in it. It was awesome.
John Delancey, superb.
John Delancey, we would sit around the table before scenes, and we never, as Torchwood, we never ever rehearsed before we filmed, because we always wanted to just keep that spontaneity. We knew our lines, we learned our lines, or at least some people knew their lines. I know you knew your lines. You know what I'm talking about, though. Yeah. I'm not going to say. Because we're family. But John wanted to always rehearse around a table, and I don't like to, but you have to adapt, and you have to do what other people want to do, and it was actually quite fun, because we would race through the dialogue, and he would be really kind of, let's do it again. Anyway, I thought it was fun.
So we're going to open this up for questions. If you have a question, Lee and Carol will be more than happy to bring the microphone to you.
Get down, quick, go. They come to you, you go to them. Go, quick.
And please speak up.
Ghosty Racer, go!
Yes, you are.
Here we go, first question.
Honey, put that mic right up to your mouth, pretend it's me.
Did you? Oh, cool. What are you doing?
Yeah, I was wondering, why are you doing Jack and Beanstalk, John?
Why?
Why?
But you say that like it's like something wrong with it. It's a
Captain Jack and Beanstalk.
I love pantomime, and I love the introduction of theater to children. And Jack and the Beanstalk and pantomime for the last almost 10 years I've done pantomime. And it's a British tradition, and I do it because it's a family show. I get to do things in that show that I probably wouldn't get to do in other places. I get to be silly, have fun, and also it is the introduction to young people to theater who then will go to see other shows that other people in that show are in. So that's why I do it. And also, this is a time of recession, so any job is a good job. The work I do, I never look at it and go, ooh, this is it. I only do stuff because I want to. And sometimes, a lot of people are like, well, you only do things. I never do anything for the money, ever. I did one job for the money once, and I absolutely hated it, and I learned a lesson very early on. So if the job pays me $50 a week, and I like it, I am a happy, working, successful actor for that.
What did you think of the ending of the U.S. Torchwood?
What did I think of the ending of the U.S. Torchwood? Well, we call it the worldwide Torchwood. I thought the ending was quite quite good and quite a shocker, because a lot of us, I don't know about Kai, but I didn't turn the page. I didn't learn that page until actually the day we were filming. So I didn't want to know what was going to happen.
Oh, nice.
And so that reaction and the first wide shot that we did, when I literally cramming to what to say, that walking down the hallway sequence and then the gunshot and everything, I was kind of taken by surprise too, but I thought how brilliant, because it takes us in a total different direction. There's this other guy now out there, because it also goes back, now you're really getting me into fanboy stuff here. It takes us all the way back to the first time that Jack actually died and came back to life, because we thought it was the time, the TARDIS that brought him back to life, and it was because of the death from the Dalek, that that'll happen in his Rose, but it turns out that his blood is actually alien blood. So there's more to him than we ever thought. So it is his blood that keeps him alive. It was not time. There's all those questions now which need to be answered. Yes. Thank you. So excited, I love it.
Hi. I was wondering if you have ever shot a scene where you had to make out with someone, and then you at some point sabotage the scene so you could redo it and make out with them.
I totally missed that. Say that again a little louder for me.
I was wondering if you ever shot a scene where you had to make out with someone, and then at some point
make out with someone and then mess it up to do it again.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All the time!
You think I'm stupid? Yeah. There's plenty of it. You did it too.
Jesus Christ!
Times we'd be sitting in our trailers and I'm waiting, and it's like 2 hours in a scene that's got 2 lines and a lot of kissing, and they're going, I'm sorry, after we take, I'm like, is he kissing her again? Yeah. Of course.
I'm sorry, Kai, this was a question for, actually, but I'm wondering if John can give us the rest of the panel in his lovely Scottish robe.
You know what? I love that you guys love that, but when I wrote about it in the book, it was questions like that made me feel insecure, because it's like I'm on a show. No, I'm kidding. Well, ask me a question and I'll answer it, because I can't really just ramble, although I do. Ask me a question. Right, so that's your question. What's your question, and I'll answer it in Scottish. Got it?
Yeah.
That's actually kind of creepy, because I was going to ask you to answer this Scottish. I was just wondering if there's anything recently or coming up on the other side of your career that is noteworthy besides the Canto.
Well, I don't know, really, no. I'm doing the Tempest on tour at the moment, and then and then Panto, so I've got a couple of months of theatre now, which is fantastic. Does that answer your question, Henry?
For me, I've been asked to do some theatre, but I can't commit to it because obviously I'm working on Arrow at the moment, but also I'm working on a show, my production company, we're doing co-producing a show for BBC America, and it's based around theatrical stuff and theatre, and in the next 3 weeks I go off to do what we call the taster tape for that, and then hopefully that will be on BBC America screens in October, November, going into the new year. So I'm watching for that, but it will be theatre based. Is that good enough, right? But one show I would love to do again, and I'd love to, we're working on bringing my tours over here, but I would love to do La Cage again. Anyway. Next! A quick question for Kai. Going into Children of Earth in America Day, were you ever worried about Reese's ending hell?
Well, Reese is going to stay alive, yes. Always. That's one of the first things I I used to do basically was skip through.
You did die. You were crapping your pants.
Reese is the most killable character on the show, I think. Somehow he's managed to dodge the bullet quite literally. But yeah, I was nervous all the way through because I said he's a very killable character. He works so dramatically for Gwen, for Reese to go through it all. But no, I'm very grateful that I'm still around.
Yeah, but he'll be around because he's the normality. He is and I don't mean that word in a blank sense, but he is the grounding for Gwen, and also it's great that he became part of the team.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
Hey John, as a fellow out game geek, first of all, I just want to say thank you for being out there for us.
Pleasure.
But my other thing is I wanted to also say that I hope you get a chance, you and Scott get a chance to stay in Atlanta for a little bit and spend a little time with the city with us.
Trust me, we already have our evenings planned. And like we had a great time in Toronto, we're also going to have a great time in Hotlanta. So you just have to figure out where we're going to go. Because I ain't telling you, you just said it there. What was it called? Someone shouted it. I'm not going to say it. If I were to go there, I'd go there. Just give me some of that. So I had a great lap dance in Toronto, and the guy who was giving me the lap dance was chewing gum. He spat it out, and I didn't see it, but it got stuck. I was getting up after the evening, and my friends of ours, they're like, great evening again. All of a sudden, my crotch was all sticky. No, hold on, the dude that spat his gum out, it stuck all over my pants. Folks. Still love hot pot cleaning. Anyway, sorry. Next.
I wanted to know what's the difference between working with the BBC production versus the USA production, like in terms of how they film and like the process.
More food. Honest to God, filming-wise, it's pretty much the same. Everybody has the same kind of commitment. Cameramen, sound guys, grips, dolly grip, all the people who work on the set are as committed. And actually, the people who work in the set behind the scenes that you don't see work twice as hard as we do. And they're the ones who actually bring the program. We get to stay on camera. Seriously, it's the truth. We get to be on camera and say the lines, and then we get to go off and do our thing, but they stay the 20 hours or the 18 hours. We do sometimes too, but they're there all the time. So in that aspect, it's pretty much the same, and I have to be honest with you, the only difference is in America, they feed you better food. And they feed you more food. And the food just doesn't stop. You'll be in the middle of a scene, and this lady will walk by with a tray full of tacos and burgers and hot dogs. You were always eating. Craft service.
Oh my God! Reese is a big boy who enjoys his food, so I adored it. We devoured it. It's cupcakes, wings, sweets, candy. Oh my God!
So then take us all back to the UK and Wales. We're filming on Rosilly Beach, and Kai and everybody, we're all there, and you've got Mackay, who comes on, and he walks out in his coat, and he goes, what the hell's going on here? Where the craft services?
It was literally a little trailer serving the fun.
This lady walked up with some sandwiches with the crust cut off and a cup of tea, like, here's your lunch tray. What? Sorry, that was a really bad impersonation of Mackay. But yeah, so it was food. Food's the big difference. Hello, Miss UK.
Hello, John Barrowman.
How are you?
My question, you keep saying how the family of Torchwood, everyone's together as a family. How did you take the offing one by one of the cast in the first 2 seasons?
I was shocked and very disappointed really because really did get on with everybody. I know it had a lot to do with Bruno Yoko, but when I was around them I adored them. He took me aside. I had a bit of a gap. I was out with a couple of episodes in series 1, series 2, and then when I came back in, I got some news. They're writing out Bruno Yoko. I was like, oh no.
Terrible.
And then when Gareth went, obviously, you know, I just have to bit of hate on.
Eve and I were filming with Bert and Naoko the day that we found out, and Bert and Naoko had asked Russell and Julie not to say anything to Eve and I because they wanted to do it themselves. And they were completely comfortable about it. They were completely okay with it. When Eve and I were told, we all stood, we were walking. It was funny because we walked from our set with the hub, and we walked to get from the hub outside, we had to walk past the TARDIS. And it was right outside the front door of the TARDIS where they told us that their characters were going to be dying in the next episode. And we all just stood and we all cried. Because we're family, and we started that show together and taken it to an element of success at that point. But we also knew that it was something that they were okay with, that they were ready to move on, and they wanted to move on. So we were fine with that. If they were okay, it doesn't mean we weren't sad. But the sequences in which they were, you know, they died. It was losing family members. And when you know Gwen and Jack or Eve and John were packing up, you know, Owen's clothes and Toshiko's stuff, and that was really emotional. Those moments that you see are true emotion for us as people, because we're part of our family were going. And the same also when Yanto and when Gareth died. We all knew it was going to happen, and we had all discussed it, but that's not to say that it wasn't, you know, devastating for all of us, because again, it was, you know, it was something with the family. But having said that, we were a drama. Dramas have to do things to stir things up. They have to change all the time. And although a lot of people don't like the decisions that are made, we have to do things like that in order to keep the thing fresh and move it forward. Now, that's not our decision as actors. That's the producers and the writers' decisions. And they make those choices. So when people come up to me in the street and go, "You took Yanto," I didn't kill him. But it was a progression for the show. But what makes us exceptionally happy being part of the show is that you guys are so committed to it, and you were so gutted by it also, and angry and upset and everything. And that's exactly the reaction that was wanted, because it worked and it made your passion. You know, some people walked away from it, which is fine, but most everybody stayed on and went on that journey like you do with Doctor Who. You don't come to see always who is playing, because when Matt Smith took over, people were going, "It's not going to be the same, But you know what? You're all sailing in the TARDIS with them. So you go for the story and the journey.
Thank you. You look fantastic.
You look great.
Hi, John.
Yeah.
My friend Jeremy to let you know that I'm feeling kind of wired. Mind if I...
Don't say it! Don't say it! Did she say the real line?
Yeah, mind if I can hug you for the panel?
Oh, I thought you were going to say the shark attack line. Oh my God. Good for you though for having the guts to say, if I see you, I'll try to give you a hug. Yeah, but they usually don't let me hug right off randomly, because if I do you, I got to do everybody, and I'd end up with I would end up with some kind of ailment if I did that.
No question. Did Jack really ever love Yanto, and why did he never say he loved him back when Yanto died?
Because Jack is a troubled hero, and Jack would never admit his love to anybody. Jack loved Yanto more so, as you would find out later if you went out and watched Miracle Day, because he has that whole conversation with Angelo Colasanto in the bed, and he's saying to Angelo that, you know, you would have loved Yanto, you would have loved to have met him. So Jack does love, but Jack just doesn't say it, because once Jack says he loves somebody in his experience, in the past, as you can go back into all of his, you know, relationships, he did probably say it once, and what? Yeah, that's correct, because that was after he realized that Yanto was actually an apparition. So he did say it to him in the radio play, which is probably somewhere you can buy it online. We're not stupid. No, it is available, so you can, or you can listen to it somewhere. I'm not condoning downloading, but you know what I mean. But there's because it's too upsetting, because Jack knows that people never die and everybody that he loves does. Hi, Captain. How are you? You know what? I absolutely love when people dress up as me. I think it's awesome. How many Captain Jacksons are there?
And he's wearing a kilt.
Is he? Are you true?
Yes.
You've already felt? You dirty woman.
I figured that Jack would want easier access.
You got that right.
My question was that obviously just pointed out a lot of us, dress up as you guys and everything else. What would you guys want to dress up as you came to a convention after your own shows? I've got to be honest. I love Captain Jack's costume. I love it. The braces and all that. So I'd like to dress as a John.
You know that the braces and stuff, everybody else says, why do you wear braces? Braces or suspenders as they call them, braces and a belt. Do you have a belt on too? You do? Good, because that's an authentic farm boy thing, you know that? It's a Midwestern farm boy thing where they used to wear their belts and their braces together. And I asked them, I talked to Russell and everybody, the designers about it, but I wanted to add a bit of a farm boy aspect to it. So,
I do think it's a terrific look, when Captain Jack is there with the big long coat and the costume. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great look. As soon as you would.
Who would I dress up as? I got to be honest. It would either be Captain America, it would either be or Iron Man. Because in the past, I do have a Spider-Man outfit at home. And all I'll say is, Scott and I have a lot of fun. Spider-Man shows up every so often, and Scott's like, oh my god, not again. But if I get to do my tours for you, you'll see the picture, right? Sue knows. Yeah, she does. 5 minutes left. Oh my god. But it's 10:02. That means 10 minutes. I'll stay a little longer. Yeah. Okay, next question. Go.
Did you guys get to Impractical Jokes on set?
No, it was very boring.
Yeah.
Very boring. Very serious.
All the time,
focus.
Tell you about a joke. At least one, but the only one that comes to mind is every time he was doing a close-up and the camera was over my shoulder, I always dropped my trousers. I was in a body bag, and he was coming up to my sister because she thought Jack was dead, and I was lying in the body bag. I had a big curly mustache. And he was, I could hear him outside in the body bag. I could hear him outside going, okay, give her a moment. She's getting into it. She's starting to cry. And he's okay, ready to go. The freezer to keep the body cold, and I was dead again. And then just as they're about to put me, I was putting Indira in. Gosh, what was it? Susie. Gosh, it was so long ago. Putting Susie in the freezer, and it's just, as I'm putting her in, and I'm, Jack again loving all his teammates, and I'm stroking her head and looking at her, and I look up at the camera, and I go, just put Lindy out in 250.
It's a bit in Children of Earth where John's approaching us naked, and he gets in the car, and there's a look between me and John. It's a look between Kai and John, really, not Reese, because I just sort of look down slowly.
Before we get to you guys are walking towards me, and I just warm things up. Just say that. Yeah. But the best bit was Eve looking at me and Eve's face going, it was all out there. I was completely naked. But what they did, what you don't see, is on my feet. I put feminine pads.
I sold
I sold my feet because it was very rocky and I wanted to protect my feet. And they're like, could you put shoes on? I'm like, no. I wanted to put the nets with wings.
You came over caught in the car and you just standing there with all this glory.
Safely feet.
Because you did a lot of emotional scenes as Jack, I wanted to know how you necessarily got into the scene, like with Yonko dying. I mean, you could like see the pain there.
I gotta be totally honest with you, and it's, again, I'm not one of those actors who has to go away and prepare. Right? I just think that's I understand some people have to do it, but for me, I don't have to do it. I'm able to throw myself right into it. One of the things my acting teacher used to tell me in school, his name was Andy Barnacle, and he said, the one thing that I like about you, and I'm not tooting my own horn here, this is what he said to me. He said, the one thing I like about you is you're like a sponge. If someone gives you something, you go, and then you squeeze it and lose it right back out of them. So I'm an emotional person. I mean, I can watch a McDonald's commercial and cry. Okay? You know, Christmas time, I'm a wreck in front of the television. So it's not hard for me to get involved and emotional. And plus, remember, we've worked a long time with, Gareth in that aspect was not only Yonko the lover, and I used to flirt as John with Gareth all the time, and Gareth would flirt right back with me, but it was almost like it was a little brother type thing. So you bring all that together, and it is emotional. So it's not difficult to get emotional in situations like that. I guess it would be more difficult if it was someone you didn't know, and then you have to create something, and that, where we create something in our head, you have no clue. I may be thinking about, having to put my dog to sleep. I know. But you don't know that, but you still see the emotion coming out. And that's what you call in the acting world substitution. Anyway, I hope that answers that. Yes? Hello? Oh,
Sorry. Do you have to do a lot of squats to get into great bum?
No, it's not so.
He does have a good bum. I know how you got your bum to look like that. You got a baby. I just, I swim. I swim, I try to swim every day. And that usually the kicking gives me a good bum. I won Rear of the Year in Britain, yeah.
And this will be our last question.
Our last question.
Perfect, because my question, and hi, is for John. John, I wonder if your next album is coming out.
I don't know. It's dependent on time, and also, I know a lot of people want a new album to come out, but at the moment, again, with recession, there's a lot of tightening with record companies. It costs a lot of money to make an album. But if they don't want to put one out with me, then I'll put one out myself. Thank you. I guess that's it.
That's it. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thank you! Sorry, let's see. I just wanted you to know, this is my first time at DragonCon, and I'm so sorry. But I want you to know that we appreciate, and particularly myself, I know Kai guys, I do, that you guys have given us the life that we've always dreamt of. And the reason I come and do these things, and love it, and I like to see you, and I like to meet you, is because you have changed my life, and I just want you to know thank you very, very, very much.